Okay, so there's some emergency news. The Israeli terrorist state, the Zionist state, the apartheid, genocidal state of Israel is openly saying they are going to plan an offensive in Rafah. So if you guys don't know what Rafah is, it is a border town. It's not even really a city. It's a town on the Egyptian Gaza border right here. And I think it's like 1.2 million people are packed, pressed against this tiny little area right here because they were told to move to the south. They went from Gaza's city all the way down here. So all the population of this mass has just been crunched into this tiny little area. And Israel saying, we're going to go in. It wasn't enough that the people of Gaza left hoping that they would, if they evacuated, they would be safe. They left. They trusted the IDF, which was a huge mistake. They went to the south. They kept moving south. Israel kept bombing them, saying while saying it's a safe zone. Oh, just move a little bit more to the south. This is a safe zone, while bombing them. And the final act of this genocide is about to happen. Now, once this happens, even America, even the US government is saying, don't do it. Now, Israel is going too far when even the US is saying, whoa, no. So this article says US says it will not back up unplanned Rafah offensive. So you cannot deny that this is a genocide. This is probably the worst, the most blatant genocide in human history. And the sad thing is, it was a long 75-year-long genocide. It was one of it's the longest running genocide and is probably the most climactic genocide. Israel's goal is to remove the Palestinian people from the face of the earth, to destroy them as an ethnic group, to destroy them as a nation. They keep referring to the Palestinian people as Alamek, or whatever the heck it's called, Alamek. And if you guys don't know, Alamek was a tribe in the Old Testament that the I think it's called Hebrews. I'm not really familiar, but it was this tribe that the Hebrews, or the chosen people, had to fight in the Old Testament, and they pretty much were told by God to slaughter every last man, woman, child, sheep, dog, fish, whatever, just total genocide. Now, this is why you don't mix religion, and you don't base a religion on a country, because things like this happens. Okay, anytime you mix religion with government, and you base your entire government, your entire nation on religion, things like this happens. Now, ironically, the Israeli state is always pointing to Hamas, always saying Hamas, they're the religious extremists. They're the bad guys. They're the fundamentalists. Israel is way worse in every single way. The entire story of Israel is based on a book written 2,000 years ago. They're worse. Oh, we gotta come back to this land because we were allegedly, might have, maybe were here 2,000 years ago, according to this book that was written by some dead guys that were alive 2,000 years ago. So now we gotta commit this genocide. We gotta kill women. We gotta kill children. We gotta kill babies. We gotta permanently dismember people for life because this book told us so. These people have no right to point their finger towards Hamas. These people are evil. Evil. You can't call this ignorance. This is pure hatred towards the Palestinian people. Now, this is the final act. Now, if you guys haven't been paying attention to this conflict for the last couple months or so, it's gotten way worse. It hasn't gotten any better at all. It's gotten worse, and they've ramped it up. The ICJ trial, genocide trial, did nothing to fix the situation. Israel's not going to face any consequences. The only thing that has somewhat stopped a full-blown genocide is Yemen, is Lebanon, is Iran. Those are the only, because if Israel had to put all of its military power into the Gaza Strip would have been ethnically cleansed months ago. But since they have to focus on fighting Hezbollah, fighting Yemen, fighting Iran, they can't do it. They have too many eggs, too many fish to fry. So they have to put their attention to multiple things at once. They can't just focus on their genocide. So that's the only thing giving the Palestinian people living in Gaza a fighting chance, is other neighboring countries stepping in militarily and offering themselves as a distraction. That's the only thing, because as we've seen countless times, Israel will not stop on their own at all. And it's gotten to the point where they don't even respect the United States enough to stop. During the 2014 Gaza invasion, Obama told the IDF to stop. Obama told Israel to stop their invasion because it's making him look bad. Now that same thing is happening, but with Biden. Biden saying, hey, they're going too far, and they're not even stopping. This is why you don't have a weak president. You have a weak, old, senile fool for a president. Things like this will happen. Other countries won't respect you. And who can blame them? They feel as if there's no consequences. What is America going to do? Cut off funding? They bought our Congress. Our Congress is owned by AIPAC. There's zero consequence. There's zero threats unless there's some sort of grassroots movement in America that just puts so much pressure on Congress to the point where they have to do something, or at least appear as if they're doing something. But right now, you have a few protests in New York. You have a few protests in Los Angeles. You have a few scattered protests. There's no mass movement. Yes, social media, there's a lot of buzz going on social media about this, but that's pretty much it. People will continue business as usual. While these people, we're funding this. It's not like it's a genocide that has nothing to do with America. We are funding this. So if you pay taxes, blood is on your hands. If you voted for these politicians that are supporting this genocide, blood is on your hands. You let this happen. If you are paying taxes, you are letting this happen. You are funding this. So, yeah, just nonstop violence. Now, obviously, I can't show you guys all of this. I'm going to scroll down a little bit slowly. So it says breaking plans to displace civilians from Rafah, contradicting statements from the U.S. and Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has instructed the Israeli army to draft plans for evacuating the Gazan population from Rafah and eliminating battalions in the area. So where do they go? What you destroyed their city, their entire city is destroyed except Rafah. There's still scattered buildings remaining intact in Rafah that they can use as shelter. There's not even enough buildings to shelter people. Most people are living in tents. You want to tell them to evacuate again? How many times have they been evacuated within the last 3 or so months? How much can these people take with the terrorist organization, which is known as Israel, the criminal state of Israel, the genocidal state of Israel, the war criminal Netanyahu, the evil monster Biden, which is letting this happen? How much can they take? And what will, let's say Israel gets rid of Hamas. Let's say Israel actually ethnically cleanses Gaza. Let's say they get rid of Hamas. Then what? You think neighboring countries are going to be cool with Israel? You think America is going to look at Israel the same after they committed the most televised genocide of all time? Do you think anyone will do business with Israel after that? Do you think Iran will look better or worse after Israel commits its genocide? Do you think America will look better or worse after Israel commits its genocide? Do you think the international community is going to take any of these countries seriously if they mention human rights or wag their fingers at Russia or another country? No, they're just going to refer to this. They're going to say, you can't tell us what to do. You did a genocide. Oh, you're that genocide country. You'll just be known for that. For the next, at least the next 100 years, you'll just be known for this. Unless you have some sort of dramatic change, even then, that still doesn't reverse this. No one will like Israel after this or do business with Israel. It's over. It's already over, but now if they invade Rafah, it'll be even more over. Like this is blatant, in your face genocide, and they're trying so hard to ethnically cleanse Gaza. They're like, please open up the Egyptian border so we can just let these millions of people into your country and just remove them from their homes. Please open the border. And Egypt's not doing it, because why would any country take in millions of people when they already had a home, but Israel destroyed it? Why should anybody be forced to do that? So it's either genocide or ethnic cleansing. Which is worse? There's really no answer to that. You take somebody from their home, you might as well kill them. So neither or is really good. Both options are equally repulsive. So I just wanted to make this quick video on this. in case you guys weren't paying attention to this conflict. But yeah, it's reaching the climax of this genocide. So pay attention.